Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Frothy. We've got a big night tonight, haven't we, Glennie?
We have, mate. It's gone that quick, hasn't it?
Well, it has.
It's gone.
Guys, apologies already because the next door lady's dog is barking again, but we've got a special guest on this evening. And grab yourself a froth, guys. We'll be back in 2 secs.
Guys, I'm Point of Views. You're listening to the Friday Frothy. What a fantastic show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Frothy. Fantastic night tonight. We have beside us Tasmanian Tiger
Doolan.
player Alex Doolan. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, mate.
Straight out of the Whites, mate, and straight
Yes.
out of the Frothy Bar. How lucky are we?
Oh, how lucky am I?
Welcome in, mate. Great to have you here. I just said to you before, bit of a tough day at the office today. You've played in some trying conditions.
Yeah, a tough day for me personally, but the rest of the team's going pretty well. We're pretty evenly poised overnight, and we've got some really good batters in at the moment. So
Yep.
And what did we end up? We ended up, so we can reiterate the score. So we were
three for 65, I think we are.
Yeah,
Chasing
3 for
195.
5.
Yeah, so we bowled really well. Did a really
Good
good
effort.
job with the ball.
Now, there was one bloke in the team who bowled extremely well.
Yeah. Nathan Ellis took another 6 for 2 games, 2 6-fers, so he's finding it pretty easy at
Absolute
the moment.
star, isn't he? Yeah, we spoke off air about him and that, and as I said, I spoke a couple of weeks ago about him, and he's been delivering all the time, hasn't he? And,
Yep.
you know, that's all he can do. You keep you're bowling around 140, 145, and he can mix his pace and does a bit with the ball and runs in at 100 mile an hour
He does.
and delivers. So
You
they've got a beauty.
can't question his work ethic.
No, absolutely not.
Incredibly hard worker, good team man. So it's been great to see him come in and do so well. So really,
Yeah. You go.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
was
mate.
just gonna say one of the questions, mate, quickly, before we do get into it, is facing those guys. You're one of the opening batsmen, sitting up there, someone bowling at 145, round of that, 150 sometimes. How much time we got?
to face it, not long.
Not long to make a decision. You haven't got much time.
I think that it's like 0.3 of a second or something like that.
0.3 of a
to
second.
Try and make a decision. So you don't actually make a decision; it just sort of happens. But
Yep.
it's probably better being the openers rather than being the next one in and sitting up there and watching the ball fly around. At least whilst you're out there and you're into it,
Yep.
you can deal with it. It's worse, speaking from experience, batting at 3, sitting up in the change rooms with your pads
With your
on,
pads, yeah.
watching the openers out there getting peppered, knowing that if a wicket falls, you're in the firing line next. It's that's much harder.
Who's the scariest bowler you faced?
They're all pretty scary at
Yeah.
Of
times.
course,
I didn't
he was,
like.
He was in the test too. Remember?
I didn't like facing Morne Morkel much. He's over 2 metres tall and feels like he delivers it from about 8 metres. So,
Really?
and he's fast, so he was able to just get good steep bounce. It
Didn't
felt
zip
like
off your
everything was sort of bouncing up around your chest. So I didn't like that much. Felt like everything was going to hit you and hurt you. So
Yeah.
he wasn't much fun. But I think I've faced lots of bowlers at lots of different times that I've thought, wow, that's pretty quick. Peter Siddle's one that comes to mind back in.
Good bowl,
Yeah, it was a while ago now. He was bowling. He was coming back from one of his elbow surgeries. And I think at that stage he was out of the test team, so he was trying to prove a point to get back in. I faced him at the MCG, and that was really quick. Yeah, I can remember thinking, my goodness, I'm in for a.
He's been one of the great stalwarts of cricket right through,
and he won't go away.
And he's one of those.
He's
one of those North Melbournes.
North supporter. He's a good boy. Good lad.
He's not perfect, is he?
No, he's not perfect.
Come on.
Not in a perfect
Come on,
world,
guys.
No. Anyway.
Yeah, just quickly, hello, Carl. And Carl's on tonight.
Carl,
Hello,
how are you, mate? You could.
He's been away for a while. And Corey?
I reckon he listened to me when I said the Gold Coast could be on the march a little bit more this year, mate. So just watch your space there, Carl, because I reckon they might be on the move, mate.
Now, just before I do ask you, mate, if you're out there, guys, watching the show and you want to ask Alex a question, please feel free.
Absolutely.
Just type it into the YouTube, and we'll try and get the questions through. And second of all, mate, just big thank you from us for actually coming on a game day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
massive thanks.
So,
But while we're talking about the bowling, I just wanted to ask you, what do you prefer, fast bowler or spin bowler? What's your
To
preference?
face?
Yeah.
I much prefer facing spin now.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah, getting a bit older now. The faster boys, they seem even faster than what they used to. But I like playing on wickets that spin.
Yep.
I find it so much more of an interesting game of cricket because when it spins, you can still get reverse swing and things like that to keep the quickies involved.
Yep.
I just find it such a better game of cricket when you're able to involve the spinners. I enjoy facing someone like a Nathan Lyon who just is at you every ball and feels like he can get you out so many different ways, and you've got to figure out a way of getting through that and scoring. And I think probably facing the spin now is far more fun for me.
Yep. Now, let's talk a little bit about you. We've got our first thing, mate, and it's actually our sponsor of the show, which we'll do a little bit on Corey's Garden and Landscaping shortly, but tell Alex I want his hat and signed. Good luck with that one, mate. Anyway, but I thought I've said it.
I'll bring one in.
He's one-eyed Carlton supporter.
Yes. Now, who do you support in the football? You're saying...
Oh,
I'm a Western Bulldogs man.
Of course, he just mentioned that.
Woof,
He's
woof.
like the big, great Merv Hughes. He probably used to go for... he might have gone for Footscray. Then he changed,
teams.
mate. That was one of Merv's jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he said, no, I decided to change. I went for Western Bulldogs after that.
Yeah.
So, mate, you're born Tasmania?
He was born in Lonnie, wasn't he?
Launceston.
Oh, yeah, Lonnie boy.
Yeah, born and raised in Launceston.
Launceston.
Moved to Hobart when I was 18, 19.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the back of Tim Coyle. He was the one that got me down.
He was a great coach, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. So at the time he wasn't coaching Tasmania. He'd just taken up the position of head coach of South Hobart Sandy Bay.
Yep.
But he was working over at the TCA as well in game development, and he offered me a Qantas scholarship.
Okay.
So what that involved was I came down. I worked for 6 months on the ground staff at Belrive.
Yeah.
And then just had opportunities to train with the team, have access to the high performance area, and also get to travel on one away trip with the Sheffield Shield team, which I did up to Queensland.
Yep. So Dad must have been a big influence, mate, on your career.
My dad?
Yep.
Dad's a big influence on my life in general.
He was a gun.
It depends who you talk to. Not if you ask him. He saw himself as a lawyer who played a bit of cricket.
How do you see yourself?
How do I see myself?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a cricketer. It's my job.
Yeah. Is it an enjoyable job? You still enjoy it?
Yeah,
You like doing it?
it's very different to playing amateurly.
Yep.
If that's even a word. But
It'll do in this place, mate. Anything works in here.
and I haven't even had a beer.
No.
We can talk at the moment. We only have one.
Yeah.
Right.
There's. I mean, if you turn up to club cricket as an amateur cricketer, the joy of the game is very different to turning up and having your livelihood, I guess, on the line.
On the line all the time.
Where your performances actually count to life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of that side of it out of the game, but it probably even makes succeeding in it even better. So the highs are probably higher, the lows are much, much lower, and the middle ground's a bit murky. But I still love the game. I love the challenges that it presents. Now being one of the senior members, I love being able to help and inspire some of the younger guys coming through and help them find their feet in the game that it can be pretty harsh at times.
Of course.
Especially batting as a batsman, batting at Belrive, it's known to be a hard place to bat.
Yep.
So trying to help the younger guys get through some tough periods there and not look at their numbers too much and try and figure out ways to score runs and survive.
Because, as you said, Alex, with that too, Belrive is actually not a dropping wicket, is it?
It's not. No.
So it's the only one in Australia. Have I got that right?
No, there's a few. So the SCG, the Wacker, the Gabba.
They are not dropping in.
No, it's only MCG and Adelaide Oval.
Okay. So the wickets, and that's something we spoke to, in previous interviews, actually with Merv Hughes and that too. And I think his thing was that the Wacker was, obviously quick. It helped him. It's probably part of the reason he got into Test cricket. One of his last, I think he got 8 for 90 odd over there, and but it was a quick wicket. The MCG was low. Everything kept low, and it could it'd vary. So having said that, for you, and you've been in a long time now, what's your best, whereabouts do you prefer to bat? Because you just said Belrive, obviously it's...
Well, it's as numbered.
Yeah, but it does a little bit there,
place,
doesn't it?
does.
Belrive,
It
it does a
does.
bit, doesn't it? So it can be either really good or can be donuts.
Like I said, I like facing spin, so I like going to the wickets where you face a bit of spin.
So
SCG,
SCG.
I like playing at the SCG.
Yep.
I like playing Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, of course. Short boundaries.
Yep.
Yep.
And then there are other. I mean, I like playing at the Wacker and the Gabba, but I guess I've probably just had a bit more success at those other two venues. They maybe suit my game a little bit better.
The 170, mate, where was that?
Oh.
That was the big one.
At this year.
Was it Adelaide?
I just
yeah,
played.
sorry,
It was Adelaide.
yeah, Adelaide.
I'm sure
this
it was
year,
Adelaide. Yeah.
Was that one of your better
Knox.
knocks?
No,
Because you've been-
it wasn't. It was a pretty flat wicket.
It was a flat wicket.
It was a flat wicket, and I really just occupied the crease. It sounds a bit silly. I scored 170, but I mean, so your better hundreds are when the wicket's challenging you a bit more. I reckon.
I've been doing a bit in your green top,
Yeah.
and you've gutsed it out.
Yeah, and being able to find ways to score and survive. Whereas Adelaide, it was a pretty true wicket. There wasn't much swing, and it's a fast scoring ground.
Yeah,
so if you're able to survive and bat a bit of time, you generally score pretty freely as well. So I was lucky enough to
You've
do
been
that.
known for your straight drives, and I'd call you a bit more elegant, the way that you go
that's
about your...
Elegant.
No, I think he is. You're a straight driver.
That is a pretty big word here in the Frothy show. Elegant.
Ricky Pontish. Ricky Ponting, was it? Same sort of thing. You hit through the line, in other words. So your favourite shot, obviously in today's cricket, you've got to play both sides of the wicket.
Yep.
You've got to be able to hook, especially with the short delivery and that. But what's your favourite? What is in one of your favourite shots, mate?
Shot I like to play the most.
Is it a drive?
Oh, are we going to give that away to you?
Is it a drive, or I might be talking a load of crap like I normally do? I don't know.
No, when I first started, I played the cover drive a lot, and
Yep.
it's a shot that I don't play as well or as much anymore. And I'd love to be able to play the cover drive again because, I used to love standing on the front foot and being able to whack them through cover, but with the change of wickets and change of batting plans, it's not a shot that I play much or play very well anymore. So if I could have my cover drive back, I'd be grateful. Yeah.
Do you reckon the short term, has that got anything to do with the fact that cricket has changed the style of the way they play now? You've just come you've run down the road basically from Belrive, playing against New South Wales, and then you're playing the Hurricanes, you're playing the 2020 stuff, and then you're playing the other 50 overs and all this sort of thing. What I suppose the question is the style of shots. Are people changing the way that they played normally when they were playing, say, Sheffield Shield?
Yeah, I'd imagine there would be some
Because they're playing cross
evolution
Yep.
because of those formats. Certainly not for me, the formats. It's more the wickets we play on now have a lot in them.
Yep.
So the cover drive's a dangerous shot, especially for an opening batsman.
For a slip, yeah.
Always lots of slips,
Yeah.
ball swings and seams. So, and bowlers are so good now. They just, if they know you're a good cover driver, they just don't bowl there. So you've got to figure out
They're
ways
trying to,
and I've been around a while now, so they know pretty much where I score and where I'm most vulnerable. So I don't get a lot of them.
Mate, what are your thoughts on the current game? With, as Glenn just said, there's so many. We spoke to Merv about this as well. You've got 10-10, you've got 20-20, you've got 50 overs, you've got your test match, and is it overload? Is there too much cricket going on?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know how you cope with it.
that's what we're getting at. It used to be more social, but
I guess now it's such a big business that the powers that be will do what they need to do to make that business successful.
Yep.
So, in my personal opinion, yes, I think it is a bit saturated with cricket. It's on just about every day of the week.
Yep.
I find that our international tours are so scattered, it's very hard to keep up with what format they're playing, where they're going to be next. I sort of remember as a kid there being such a big build-up to one-day series and test match cricket,
And
whereas it feels like...
And the whole family would sit there and watch the game.
Whereas it feels like now the team goes away, they play and then they come back and they're straight into another test series or one-day series, and there's not that build-up. It comes and goes quite quickly. So, yeah, I think it is. I think, for me personally, it is a bit saturated with cricket at the moment. But I don't know what the answer is to solve that.
No.
Do you personally have a preference in which style of game you play in?
No, so I like all of them for different reasons. Yep. 4-day cricket is such a challenge of a person's character, and Test cricket, such a challenge of a person's character. The game changes throughout the 4 to 5 days. You've got to be able to adapt and mould, and to win after 4 days is... there's nothing better than that. I love 2020 cricket because it's so exciting. You see so much ingenuity, I guess, with different shots and guys inventing ways to score and bowl, and it's really
all
quite
the lights
clever.
And all the razzle-dazzle stuff that goes with it.
And it's quite clever. I mean, when it started, it was just bash and crash, whereas now that
it's a craft.
There's so much more that goes into it.
Absolutely.
And one-day cricket, I still enjoy playing. I still enjoy watching it, but I feel like that's the game that they've tinkered with the most to try and make it successful. I'm not quite sure where that sits now on the ICC's radar and where they see it going forward.
Yeah, with I don't know, once again, I think we spoke to Merv and Roger about this, and to me, it's sort of like the amount of travelling that it has to be done. And if you're a family man, and you are a family man with children, and you know, being away all the time, so even just being a state player, I mean, how often do you go?
Yeah, but you're flying, you're in and out all the time.
How often are you in another state? Is that fortnightly or?
Oh, well, it depends really. So we have 5 home games, 5 away games for the Shield season. So you're away for a week, effectively, for every Shield game.
Yep.
We also have a one-day tournament that's predominantly in Perth, Brisbane and Melbourne. A little bit in Adelaide this year and Sydney. Very rarely in Tassie. So you're away for three weeks with that. We have a pre-season tour that we went away on for 3 weeks this year as well. So there's quite a bit of time away. And it's challenging with a family, but I've got a pretty good wife who is able to hold down the fort. And
hey mate, we've all got them. That's why we can do the show.
He's hold the fort right
That's our producer, mate. Well done, Ali.
Yes, well done, Al.
Yep.
I am very lucky to have a woman like that. She's been with me from the very start. So
what was your wife's name?
Laura.
Laura, yeah. You're going out there, Laura. Thanks very much for letting him on.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And kids, mate?
Yeah, 2 kids.
2 kids.
A boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
Boy's 5 and the girl's 2.
Ah, lovely. What are their names?
Wilbur and Matilda.
Beautiful.
We call her Mim.
And Mimi?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mim.
Yep.
Nice.
She's a rat. She's an absolute rat bag.
Mate, let's go back to the beginning again. You're a junior, obviously coming through school. You're playing a bit of cricket. What age did you know that you were? Hey, I'm pretty good at this.
Still don't think I'm that good. I played tennis for a long time.
Okay.
So tennis was my number 1 sport growing up till I was probably about 14, I think. I did tennis and athletics, and then I just played cricket and footy at school. The only reason I started playing club cricket with Launceston was because we were told as young players that we weren't going to be considered for the under 17 state team unless we were playing club. They weren't going to pick us straight out of school cricket, which they'd done previously. Okay. So I signed up to Lonnie for that reason, to see if I could get selected in that team. So I basically started playing club cricket when I was 17, 3rd grade-ish, and then played a year of A-grade cricket with Launceston, lost the premiership, and the following year Tim Coyle got me down to Hobart.
Yeah, and did you, like, obviously you're a batsman of course, but your gloves, you took the gloves too?
Yeah, I did.
You bit of wicket
I think I started taking the gloves just purely because Dad did. And I sort of thought, well, it's in the blood. So
it's in the blood.
People are going to ask me about it, so I'll have a go at it. And I didn't bowl well.
Not at all?
No.
When you do bowl, what was it? Medium?
Absolute rubbish. I bowled a little bit of medium pace, and then as I got older, I thought I was a bit wily and started bowling some off spin, and neither were better than the other. But yeah, I enjoyed wicket keeping, but it's pretty tough on your body, especially if you're only doing it part time.
Well, I imagine too, because you've got a bit of height too, and I always wonder with the taller Well, Gilchrist, even Payne's not there. He'd be your height.
He's slightly shorter, but he's reasonably tall.
He used to be my mascot when I ran out. But anyway, geez, I'm not showing my age now, am I? Anyway.
While we're on other sports, I just wanted to ask you, we went to, we've got a bit on local sports, local heroes tonight, which is a segment that people can send in stuff on their sporting, and we just played. We went out and watched a bit of baseball last week, and it was a grand final, and the guys asked us to come out and have a look, so we've done up a little bit of a thing on it. But have you ever played baseball?
We had, I think it was 2 pre-seasons ago, we went and had a hit out. Where is the diamond?
Goodwood. Goodwood at Prince of Wales.
Yeah. So we went and had a bit of a hit.
Andrew Dykes, he was Clarence, wasn't he?
Yep.
Remember Andrew Dykes?
He was out there playing.
He was out there playing.
Oh, was he?
The Orioles.
Yeah, he could throw his hand to most things and be pretty good.
Well, he still looks
fit.
He looks like he can go and play now. But
what about golf?
Yeah, I play golf.
You'd be good at it.
There's not a cricketer that doesn't play golf.
I know, and they're all bloody good at it, Glenn.
Well, the next generation coming through, they tend to prefer the PlayStation rather than the golf
course. We went away. We used to go and play golf. Actually, a couple of mates, they still go away now. We started with about 6, I think, wasn't it, Jeff, originally?
Yeah.
I think it's about 26 now. But we used to go and play barn boogle and all that. And I can remember back then, and we're going back a while ago, there was a lot of Tigers.
Yeah, we were up there with them.
We were up there with the Tigers.
Hilford House.
And
our pre-season used to be the barn boogle.
Well, you might have been there, but I probably didn't see. I was probably asleep at the bar by the time we finished 18 hours.
We were drinking
it was actually 20. It was actually a bit more than 18. I think it was 20 something.
But yeah, they were all up there playing, and you might have been there.
Yeah, so our pre-season was always up to barn boogle. Richard Sattler's a friend of the organisation.
So he's good. Yeah.
Coyley got us up there originally. We went up there when it first opened, and then when Dan took over as coach, he continued it because he's a mad golf nut.
He's a mad golf nut.
So we would have had about 7 or 8 pre-seasons up there, I reckon.
Nice.
Yeah. And we haven't been up there for a while because the schedule's got a bit hectic.
We did it. We enjoyed it, and then we sort of moved on, and we did the couple of guys thought it'd be good to go to Echuca, and then they've continued on, and now they just go around different circuits each year. They're heading off soon. So all the best, boys. I'll be there probably next year. Make it again this year, but anyway.
Not when the show goes global.
No,
that's it. I've probably got to do a bit better at golf before I get a Guernsey.
Mate, I forgot what I was going to say now. He's put me off.
I do that.
We interviewed V8 Supercar driver recently, Todd Hazelwood, and I asked him this question. I said, I hope this isn't going to be silly, because I said, what's a day in a life like for a V8 Supercar driver? Yeah. And he said to me, that's not a stupid question because everyone thinks that we just drive on weekends, and a little bit of practice and blah, blah, blah. And then he went into in-depth detail of what he actually does.
It was a big thing, wasn't it?
What's a day in a life like for Alex Doolan?
So in season right now.
Yep.
So playing this week. When we're not playing, we're training, or we have recovery days.
At all at Plunston?
Yeah, pretty much. We've got a gym there. That's where we go.
Yep.
We hit balls there. We pretty much do everything there. Mm-hmm. But it's gone. Speaking off air, we're talking about the professionalism. We went to this mode of training where every spare second we had, we were either training or we were recovering. So we'd play a game, we'd finish 4 days of cricket, we'd all be knackered. The next day we'd have to come back into Belrive and do stretching and go for a walk and all this kind of stuff. And it started just to annoy everyone that we had to keep coming back into the oval and putting on our tracksuit and just give us a bit of time away. So now we'll play a game. Once this game finishes, we'll probably have 1 or 2 days off, come back into train, before flying to Melbourne, I think on the Wednesday for the next Shield game.
Okay.
So they've got, it's gone almost full circle to the point where the coaches and staff know that players need a bit of time away after 4 days out on the paddock. Given plenty of time away, see our family, see our friends, go and do whatever, play golf, whatever, and then when you come back, you're expected to be in and train.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Can I ask you what you do when the team's batting and obviously you're opening, so when you're out and you're sitting in the dressing room, or are you just watching the game?
Well, we do lots of different things. You've got to try and amuse yourself, otherwise you go insane.
Put the tunes on.
So we all think, well, a lot of us think we're quite clever, myself included. So we get the crosswords out, and we sit there and do our crosswords. We talk a hell of a lot of rubbish that if someone walked in...
Oh, you'd be good on the show.
You should come in more often, mate.
They'd shake their head. If you were just an everyday civilian walking in hearing what we're talking about, you'd think these guys are bonkers.
So you haven't seen too many of our shows then?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. Anyway.
Can get messy.
And then we discussed the game as well. We discussed the tactics of the game, where the game's going, what you're doing to certain bowlers, what we think the wicket's doing, what we think they're trying to do with the game, just all those sorts of little things as well. We've got coaches now that are really encouraging of players to control the team basically. So you guys are out there, you guys are performing, you know what's going on. You tell us rather than the coaches sitting there saying this. We see this happening. You need to do this. So it's a lot more fluid between the players and the coaches.
The coaches now that you've got down at in Tassie, obviously no doubt you've got a bowling coach. You've got the your main coach, which is the big bowler, Adam Griffith. He was a really good bowler, opening fast bowler. So who are the coaches there? For the batting and that.
So we've got Adam, who is our head coach. We've got Jeff Vaughan, who is our number one assistant and batting coach. I'll explain a little bit more. And then we've got Ben Rohrer, who's our fielding coach.
Ben Rohrer. Oh, okay. He was the West Australia?
No, New South Wales.
New South Wales.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
And then we've got a lot of other coaches underneath that sort of come in and out. So we've got Wade Townsend, Ali De Winter. Probably forget someone. That sort of come in and out, so they work with the development.
It's not the Academy Awards. It's right. You can forget someone.
And I'm not Brad Pitt. So
No,
I'm not going to be able to remember everything. But so and then this year the structure changed a little bit. So Adam is our head coach, but Jeff is head coach of the Shield team.
Okay.
So if you can get your head around that. So Adam, head coach of the one-day stuff, the Hurricanes, and then Jeff takes over for the Shield.
For the Shield,
he's
does
the
he?
head coach, and Adam goes into the
that's
assistant's
good.
role there.
It's good for the viewers because I wouldn't have known. Not that I knew, but I know a lot of the people wouldn't have known that. So that's interesting.
So effectively, Jeff is head coach of our team at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're very lucky. We've got, I think we've probably got the best coaching staff in the country. And again, I'm probably biased because they're my coaches, but we're very, very lucky to have who we've got.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but the thing is too, a lot of people, it's all, everything these days, whether it be your footy or your cricket or whatever, it's all performance based. But as we spoke about off air, we have there's form slumps in a team overall, and sometimes you can't put we can't put our finger on it. Why? Or the opposition was just unbelievable on the day, or the wicket. So I suppose, the thing is, like, the amount of good players at the moment playing in Australian cricket, and the chance to get into, say, an Australian side, which you did, it's not to be scoffed at. You've only got, when you go away on a touring side, like you did in South Africa, what was it, in 2000?
I'm about to get to that.
Well, what was it? 2014, wasn't it? 2014. Like, I don't think people understand just how hard that is. We've got a whole country out there of budding cricketers, and some have come from, South Africa, like Lambashay and these sort of guys, and, they've gone through the system. Some get a quick break. And others don't. Some don't make it to there later. It must be pretty taxing for a lot of cricketers, and that all you guys want to do is make it to that level. Just how hard is that on your mental state and that? I suppose like everyone, I remember playing footy. I used to think, I should be getting a go. No, I'm not getting a go. Why not? And that's the same thing. It's a mental thing, not just. Obviously you've got the ability, otherwise you wouldn't be playing. So, but it must be a big thing.
Now, we're going to go into your career and the selection in Australia, but first of all, guys, we have a sponsor on the show called Corey's Garden and Landscaping, who sponsors us for our beers, and it wouldn't be fair if we didn't say thank you very much to Corey. If you've got any gardening, landscaping, or anything to do in Hobart, guys, get on to Corey. Here's a bit for him now. Ali, can you chuck it up, mate?
Yep.
So thank you, Corey. Now, what I was going to ask you, mate, 2014, you said?
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
So you got your call up to play for Australia.
Yep.
How do we feel?
Well, I found out, I got brought into the squad during the Ashes whitewash. So I got brought in for the last test. Shane Watson was under an injury cloud. Mm-hmm. And so I was in the squad. I think it was a squad of 13. James Faulkner was in that squad as well. So I got brought in for that. Ended up staying and for the whole series we whitewashed, great celebrations, and Darren actually Lehman told me after the game that I was going to South Africa. So I remember giving him a big hug. I was very surprised, super excited, but not sort of really knowing where I stood, whether I was going as a player or whether I was going as just maybe in the squad. To me, it didn't matter at the time. I was over the moon. I was in and about. I was at least being considered to play for Australia and get that baggy green cap. So, I was very excited. Not often that I hug someone for them telling me that I'm going somewhere. No.
Test cap 437, mate.
Well, have a listen to you.
I'm pretty good with figures. I'll just pluck that out, if you can believe it. Now, Merv had an interesting thing about how he got his test cap. I think it might have been from a receptionist.
Yeah.
How did you? Who presented your test cap, mate? And,
Andrew Simons.
Oh, really? Andrew Simons. Right, okay.
Yeah, it was the first test in Johannesburg at Centurion, and I remember sitting. We were out there. I knew I was playing, obviously, but I had on the big screen all these old cricket things with. I remember when Jarks Callis knocked punter over at Adelaide Oval and he fell over, and I just remember being distraught when that happened. I just had all these great moments in Australian cricket, and I was standing out there getting quite emotional just over that. I must have been an emotional wreck at the time, but I just remember, I don't remember his whole speech, but I remember him telling me that everyone's journey under the cap was different, and just to respect that journey and to embrace it and enjoy it. So, I don't remember a lot else. I was a bit glazed over.
Yeah, I can imagine. It'd be one of the most amazing things as a sport, because that's the peak, isn't it? Obviously, representing. Glenn always says on the show that, like we've spoken to a few AFL players, and Glenn always says, it doesn't matter if you played one game, if you made it to AFL, you're a star. Player. You're a star.
Well, even if you play, look, that was part of the conversation prior to that not everyone can actually get to that pinnacle.
No.
But to play for your state, even to play at your club sides, and there's a lot of damn good cricketers and a lot of damn good sportsmen. But unfortunately, some get picked and they're lucky. You've been lucky enough to have a career, as you said now. You're an old man now, 34.
Oh, you're only young. You're all right.
Yeah. You're only young fella.
I think you...
Like George Bailey. I mean, he's just retired, hasn't he? At, what was George, 30? What was
37.
37, wasn't he?
He's still young.
But there is a lot of luck involved. You said
there
luck
is.
And their timing and that sort of thing. And I was lucky. I had a pretty good person in Ricky Ponting in my corner pushing my cart.
He was, wasn't he?
And whilst he was doing that, I was still able to be scoring runs. So timing was fantastic.
Was he a big like Ricky Ponting? Obviously, we've seen him, and I mean, we've all admired him.
Yep.
So as far as him helping you, did he? Like, was he in the nets with you and that all the time?
Yeah, well, he was
going through everything.
He was playing for Tasmania at the time. And I guess he was an unofficial mentor of mine.
Okay.
We used to catch up when he was playing. We used to go for breakfast, things like that. And I remember one moment where we were sitting at breakfast and he said to me, I think you can be the next number 3 for Australia.
I remember it.
What do I need to do to make that happen? I nearly fell off my chair and choked on my scrambled eggs, but I'll never forget that moment, because to me at that point in time I was a state cricketer. I was going okay, but I didn't see myself as anything more, and it was probably just the kick up the bum that I needed to maybe just think, okay, well maybe if he thinks I can do it, well maybe I can.
There's someone's there seeing this ability in you,
yeah. So that was huge for me, and he was a great mentor. Well, I've been really lucky in my career. I've had some great mentors, some great coaches along the way. Ed Cowan was huge for me.
Yeah.
He came down to Tassie basically as I started playing. Yep. Took an interest in me personally and my game, and took it upon himself to try and help me to improve. And I owe Ed a hell of a lot for my career.
Well done, Ed.
Yeah, so he was huge, and he was massive for Tasmanian cricket, and I probably didn't realise how good he was for us until maybe he left. Because he's a bit kooky, and he's got lots of different ideas, and he's very forward thinking, and a lot of his ideas are completely outside the box. But the game's game's got to a point now where you have to be
flamboyant, or whatever you want to call
Steve
it.
Smith's the perfect example. That's
well, he's kooky, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's flamboyant. He's
anyone else.
Fidgety and all the rest of it. Everyone, their game's made up, as you said, of different cats, I call them, different players, and that's if we're all the same.
That's right.
It wouldn't be interesting.
And thanks again to the dog next door. We'll just try to throw that in.
He's just excited that Alex is on again.
Well, he's enjoying you being
loving
here.
it.
Talking about Steve Smith, someone asked the question before. First of all, I wanted to throw it out there, mate, and say what your thoughts are. Tim Payne, I don't know you think the same thing.
I know John.
He's done an amazing job.
Yes.
Come into that position, take the captain.
Absolute star.
And people might say he hasn't got the runs on the board, but what he's done to stabilise the team and to get him winning and so, I just think he's done a terrific job. You agree?
Yeah, well, and I guess it depends what you want from your wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, until Adam Gilchrist came onto the scene, the wicketkeeper's job was to wicketkeep, and his runs were bonus.
Yeah.
So Tim, there's no doubt Tim is the best wicketkeeper in the world.
Yeah.
Probably, in my mind, probably the best wicketkeeper in the world.
Yep.
So it's very hard to leave someone out of a team when his sole job he's the best at.
Exactly. That's as you said. You were picked to be a keeper back in the day, and
that's right.
And Gilchrist. I mean, we were probably blessed as Australians to have Rod Marsh who could throw the bat, and if we want to go back that far, and then obviously there was other batsmen that come through wicket keepers, and
well, if you look at Ian Healy's considered one of our
Healy
best,
was the one I was trying to think of. Sorry, Healy, Ian Healy.
Well, Tim's
now his daughter's
record,
doing it.
His niece.
Oh, it's his niece.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Tim's batting record wouldn't be too dissimilar, probably, to Ian Healy's. Yet Ian Healy's considered one of the best ever, and Tim was forever under the pump. I think it was very unfair.
Yes.
And I think he's done a terrific job since he's taken over.
Well, he was a bit like yourself when you were saying Ricky Ponting sort of took you under the wing and sort of, was helping you through the game. But I think if I've got it right, when Tim was quite a bit younger, he was... there's a lot of people around Australia then that thought at the time that he could have been leading Australia back when he was younger before he hurt his finger.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean,
it was just unlucky he was out of the game. Yeah. And that's the breaks in footy.
Yeah.
It's in cricket or footy. Yeah, so injuries is a big deal too. And now he's got the rewards.
What's he like to have around, for the state games?
He's a real presence.
Yeah.
A real presence. I think any time you've got the Australian captain in your dressing room, it's a bonus. And he's been really good for one of our younger players, Jake Doolan. Taking him under his wing, he's mentoring him, and I think Jake's now starting to come out the other side and see some real success in first class cricket, and just maybe feel like he belongs a bit more than maybe what he did. And to have someone like Tim in your corner pushing for you, it only makes you walk taller, doesn't it? So, you're going to see the benefits of Jake. You're going to see the benefits because Tim's cricket brain is second to none. So that's going to filter down into our younger players. You're going to see our bowlers with better strategies and tactics. It's it's only beneficial for Tasmanian cricket to have him.
My word. Mate, we're going to have to take a quick break and see if this dog will shut up. As I said, last week, Glenn and I went over to...
it on the mic because it picks up at the front.
Well, hopefully you can't hear them, although they're saying they can. Last week, Glenn and I went over to the baseball... Sunday, yes, for the grand final, and did just a little quick interview. And guys, here's a little bit from it, and thanks for inviting us over.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Shake him up.
Want to be a local hero.
G'day guys, it's Jeff and Glenn here from the Friday Frothy. We've just come down this afternoon to have a quick little look at the game down here. I wasn't even aware, Glenn, that we had baseball teams down here in Hobart. But today it's the grand final.
So guys, we're here down at the baseball field with David. David's the president here. How are you, David?
I'm well, thank you.
Mate, thanks for a bit of a chat. Basically, the grounds here, you've been here 12 years?
Yes.
And mate, how many teams are actually in the competition?
So we have 10 teams scattered over 2 levels of competition. So we have a Division 2 team, Division 2 league, which has 6 teams, and the Division 1, which is playing now, has 4 teams. So it's just the largest number of teams we've had over a 12-year period. So.
What's happening here? I can tell you, mate, just the picture that was in, he's got some heat, doesn't he?
He can throw them down.
We were saying before, it's just a local competition, it's not state-based.
No, it's just local. We do have 2 or 3 teams up in Launceston, but it's only on the second year there.
Yep.
We were trying to get a competition up and running on the northwest coast, but for various reasons that hasn't happened at this point in time. So.
And the outlaw single here to Jack Spencer.
That's obviously the hope then to push further, to get some sort of competition in Launceston and to help those
guys
as I said,
up there. We've already got a couple of teams up in Launceston.
Lonnie, 2 in Lonnie, is it?
And two teams in Launceston at the moment. So this is their second season.
Yep.
Again, it's quite hard to sort of. So I'm just watching for fly balls.
Yeah.
But it's a case of getting out there and getting people interested in playing the sport and that. And
So how does one get involved in a game of baseball like this? What do they do?
I get in touch with me or Matt Little, who's in charge of the Launceston League, and have a talk with us. There's no previous experience necessary. We have the 2 tiers. The 2 tiers were designed so that the top tier, which you've got now, those that are really skillful at playing baseball, love the game, want to play a pure game of baseball. The lower tier can be for juniors who are wanting to play, it can be for ladies who want to play, so we have a number of ladies who are playing in the league.
Yep.
And for those like myself who are a bit older in years and that and don't want to play at a fast pace like this top grade. So there you go.
What's the score? Always loving it, home run.
So, I mean, the age range we would have, so you can see the young chap out there. Yeah. So he's 14, so he's playing in our Div 2 competition.
Yeah.
And the ages would range up from his age of 14 up to 62, I think is the oldest one.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great.
All right, well, there you go, guys. A bit of baseball here, local heroes. We'll put a link down below, David, for anyone who's interested in getting in contact with you and a bit of information about the club. But thanks for having a chat, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for the
Dave.
opportunity.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
I haven't got a lot of time to see the ball, and fielders are way out there, mate. They're not going to be jumping into the stands, catch the ball up halfway up the lawn. They'll be over the fence into the green.
We're out as far as what they are, Glenny, so we could take a catch here. Anyone out there who's watching this, if you've got a local sport that you'd like us to go and have a look at and film and even
Present on?
yeah, just let us know, guys, and we'll see what we can do.
There you go. So thanks, guys. We were just having a bit of a talk off camera then about a bit of baseball and the time that Alex went out and had a hit. And yeah, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. We enjoyed it though, mate.
Yeah, it was good.
We enjoyed it out there,
One
and
great
we
hit. Was it Chris was on there? He said he wants us to go out and have a hit for the froth.
Well,
Head on the diamond.
I'll have a hit. I can't throw. There's no risk. I'll be rolling it in. His shoulders are shot.
But, only a few more to go here, but I just wanted to ask you, being a complete novice in cricket, and we'll just talk about hand-eye coordination. As a batsman, what are you just concentrating on the hand, the movement, what they're actually going to bowl? What are you looking at? Yeah. What are you looking for?
Yeah, you're trying to find the hand as best you can, and some guys are better at it than others. If you speak to Matthew Wade, he reckons he can't pick spinners out of the hand. He just plays them off the wicket. Which I reckon spin, I find a little bit easier to see the spin because their hands are slower. When you're facing someone like a Rashid Khan who bowls with a very quick arm action, he's harder to read. But yeah, you're basically just trying to find the ball. Which goes against everything as humans, because when you speak to someone or when you're looking at someone, you look at them in the face. So when they're running into bowl, you're looking at them in the face and you've got to tell yourself, watch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just looking for the ball. And quite often when you're playing well, you don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
You don't realise where you're looking. You don't realise what your feet are doing, what your hands are doing. It all just happens so easily. So when you come off after doing well, what did you do so well today? Oh, I don't know. Just worked for me today. So, but if you have a bad innings, you'd be able to set down exactly what you did wrong, where your back foot went, where your front foot went, where your hands went, where you just completely different.
So when you face in the nets and you're training, I know you've obviously got the guys rolling in and bowling flat out and trying to knock you head off when you're facing. But what about when they use the cricket machine?
Yeah.
So what does that do?
The jugs machine that just spits the ball out?
Yeah, just spits the ball.
Replicate it?
Yeah, it's basically just for volume and to save the coach's arm, really. So
Is it?
You can just face hundreds of balls very quickly, know exactly where it's going to be.
Is that just to get your foot movement? And all
it's basically just for fundamental skills.
Fundamental skills.
Driving, making sure your pickup's right,
So
whatever it might be. It's just you know exactly where the ball's going to be.
Yep. So when you're in the nets and you've got your own team, obviously you're not trying to. It's like when you play footy, you're not trying to injure people at training unless you want to get in the side. But
get a spot.
But in cricket, I mean, you've got someone like let's say he's not playing at the moment, Riley Meredith. You're an opening bat. You're facing him in the nets. What's he trying to do? Is he predominantly just bowling at the wickets, or is he trying everything? Is he bowling short?
Generally, Riley and all the bowlers.
Well, not just Riley. I was just using him as an example, but any quick bowler or spin bowler. I mean, are they going flat out? Obviously, they're bowling flat out, but are they? The short pitch stuff. I'm thinking about injuries. In amongst your team.
Well, you need to face it in the nets, because if you don't, then
you're not going to get in the middle.
Well, you just don't get used to it.
No.
And they need to practice bowling it as well.
Yeah.
So it's not stupid. They don't run in and just bowl short every ball.
No.
But yeah, they bowl bouncers. Riley broke Jordan Silk's arm this year.
That's
in a centre
sort
wicket.
of where I was going with it.
And it wasn't Riley running in trying to hit Jordan, but he just didn't quite pick it up, and it was a shorter ball, and
but that happens.
But you have to do it, because if you don't, you walk out to the middle and the bloke from the opposition runs in and bowls one at your head.
You're gone.
What else are you going to do? You got to figure out a way of playing it and practice it. So it gets it gets a bit heated when the bowlers bowl over the front line at training and bowl bouncers.
Oh, really?
Then you get the batters blowing up a little bit. But
you all get on well.
Yeah, we've got a good team.
You've got a good
it's certainly, if someone has a go at someone else, it's never taken to heart.
Sorry, John, I know you've got a couple of questions there. What about the guys like that come in? And I know, I suppose as well I was going before with the Hurricanes, you've got someone like Darcy Short.
Yeah.
He's playing for Western Australia in the Shield.
Yeah.
Or if he's not in Australian selections, but playing for the Hurricanes and all that sort of thing. What? How do those guys enjoy? Obviously, you enjoy one another's company. Does he enjoy coming down? Like for the guys coming from interstate, and do they get entrenched with the Tassie boys, or how does that all work? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. It'd be an individual basis, I reckon. Completely dependent on the individual. If they come down and throw themselves into it, then it's very easy for everyone to get along. And
well, they get the respect too.
Well, they get the respect, but I think if you're going to be travelling for a big bash, you're down for 8 weeks. If you come down and just mope around and don't get involved, then it doesn't make it enjoyable for you. It doesn't make it enjoyable for the rest of your team. No. So we're lucky in cricket that we get to move around a little bit. So plenty of guys.
There's a lot of banter. You get when you're playing, say, Western Australia, and he's playing then for Western Australia. You've just been playing with him, and yeah, which is a bit of fun. I like that.
And it's good. It's good too because you get to meet people from other states. You get to befriend them, and you also get to find out the way they train and the way they go about it. So you're forever upskilling yourself in that way.
Do you ever get on the blower and ever talk to someone that you've met throughout the other sides and just talk little bits and pieces?
One of my good mates is Tom Cooper from South Australia, so I speak to him
regularly.
So you
ever talk to him?
The Marsh brothers from WA, all the guys that I've played with that I
and they're forthcoming, which is good. I reckon that's great. To be honest with you, you've both been in it.
Yeah, so it's you do. Phil Hughes was a great mate of mine, so he and I were speaking.
It was disappointing
before his accident. We were speaking very, very regularly.
Yeah.
So you meet some great people along the way, and I think that's the beauty of it. I'll walk away from cricket with some great mates, not only in my team now, but teams I've played with and guys who are still going to continue to play. So.
Yeah. Well, that's my next question. Goes straight into that, mate. Is grassroots cricket. You play Sandy Bay.
Yep.
You've obviously got once again a strong team as well.
Yep.
A lot of the Tasmanian Tigers players play down there. What I wanted to ask you, mate, obviously, how is that going? How is Sandy Bay and local cricket going?
Yep.
And is it strong? And I suppose where I'm going is we spoke with Colin Garland just recently and talked about football and seeing the drop off in our state and also Victoria.
But I wonder if that's why they're trying now. Like Alex is playing for Tassie. We've got a team. They're trying to get a team.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if that's the difference.
Yeah.
Sorry. Keep
so
going.
is it strong? Is cricket strong in Tasmania? And how's your team going, Sandy Bay?
We're going all right. Firstly, we've got a bit of a crunch match this weekend against Clarence.
We might come down and have a look.
The winner makes finals.
Really?
The loser potentially misses. So we've got a big game going ahead. We're led really well. We've got Hamish Kingston, who who leads our bowlers really, really well. And our captain, Sean Willis, who's a young captain, leads from the front. Very, very good leader in that regard. Super club cricketer at the moment and could potentially...
He was a good little footballer too.
Where's this going to be played?
This is at, I think it's at Queenborough Oval in Sandy Bay.
Okay,
Queenborough.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I think the place we're struggling in club cricket is retention. So retaining players who are mid to late 20s, who are very good cricketers, but potentially don't see a pathway going any further, keeping them in the game rather than them giving it away and going to work. So making sure that we are able to keep these players so it's not just young players coming through playing against themselves and a couple of middle 20 aged players, and then a few state players sprinkled on top. We want these guys, someone like an Adam Polkinghorne, for example, a Mark Diven who was at Kingborough, Andrew Dykes at Clarence, he played for a long time with Mark Colgrave. All these guys, when I started playing, dominated club cricket. And you came in and you learnt from them, but you had to play and compete against these big older men.
Yeah.
Whereas I think now it's changed a little bit. Maybe the average age is perhaps a little bit younger than what it used to be. So the challenge is making sure that we retain the players, retaining someone like a Ben Dunk who is playing 2020 around the world.
Yep.
But if we can keep him playing for Sandy Bay for as long as we can, I mean, that's only going to benefit the young guys.
Like Lindisfarne, when I left over here at Clarence at footy and went to Lindisfarne, they were a suburban cricket team. I obviously played footy there and played cricket in the off season, but they've come a long way too.
Yeah. Yep.
So they were, obviously their facilities they must be punching money in there somewhere because, as I said, I think the cricket, as far as that club goes, and I can only look from afar now, but they put money into that. So their facilities are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm using them as an example.
Yeah.
So
what about it?
they are putting money
What
in.
about your government level in schools? Al? Schools,
What happens with the cricket in schools? Yeah.
You getting support
Is
by
it high
government
school?
in school?
No, not really.
Okay.
Possibly not. No,
you're asking the
be
wrong
very
club.
minimal.
Yeah,
I
you don't
couldn't.
know. Yeah,
I
that's
know
right.
that the Australian Cricketers Association and the players have put a hell of a lot of money back into grassroots cricket.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily go to the clubs, but it goes to all sorts of ways of keeping cricket alive at the bottom level. So millions and millions of dollars have been donated by the players back into the community to
fantastic.
uplift and keep things like facilities. Now that it's men's and women's cricket, we need different change rooms. So there's been a lot of money from the players in particular. Back into grassroots cricket. So we're very, very proud of that.
Yeah.
And being able to continue to grow the game because as players and as the Australian Cricketers Association, we want to leave the game in a better place than where we found it.
Yeah. Yep.
And we believe that we're doing that with the donations.
Well done, mate.
And generally that's how it comes through the schools too.
Yeah.
Because the players come into the schools and spend a lot of time with the kids, and then they get all excited, and you can see them when they run out in the oval every season. At the moment, they're just on the cusp of the end of the cricket. Because I noticed the AFL footballs are coming out, but they're on that oval, and there's some fanatical kids at the moment who are loving cricket. So.
Good to hear. Mate, just a couple of quick ones for you. Your cricket idol?
My cricket idol, I had a few growing up. Michael Slater was my first. Loved slats. Just was a bit different to everyone else. He was a bit aggressive. He went after the bowlers. And then I went into Darren Lehman. I used to like Darren Lehman, and
he was an accumulator big time.
And then
Absolutely
Simon Kadich. I
Really?
developed a real man crush for Simon Kadich.
He could play.
Was lucky enough to play against him. Got to meet him. Just a genuine bloke, very humble, lovely man, but just the ultimate competitor. Just an ultimate. When he stepped over the line, it was game on. But as soon as he came off, he was in there
Just
for
a
a beer.
really nice bloke.
He was a very nice man.
Cool.
Still is.
Your favourite ground to play on?
Adelaide Oval.
Right. And your favourite bowler to face?
Nathan Lyon.
Is that because you go after him or it's just a challenge?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. I've had a bit of success against Nath. He's had a bit of success against me.
Yeah.
I just feel that he's one bowler that every time you walk out there, you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how good the wicket is, how poor the wicket is, he's able to find something out of it. He's also the GOAT, so you get to go out and say that you face the greatest off-spin bowler that Australia's ever had.
It's amazing what he's done.
It is amazing, and because he was a curator at the
and he's also a ripping bloke, which I like as well. Yeah. So he's got plenty going in his favour. Yeah. But I like to face Nath.
All right.
That's fantastic.
I got one more for you, and then I'm done. The most annoying teammate, in a fun way. Don't you don't have to bag anyone out, but the most annoying.
Bag him.
Bag him.
Bag him out.
Most
it's like Cleve's tips. You just bag him out, mate.
The most annoying teammate ever was Chris Duval. I don't know if you can remember Chris Duval.
The name rings a bell. But,
he's South Australian, came down, played for Tassie. He also played for Sandy Bay. He was just an absolute pest. He was always doing something with your gear or poking fun at you, or he couldn't sit still. He'd be playing with your ear, or he was just in a great way. He was
good, but
he was Merv Views as
the class clown.
Mini-me, I'd say. He may have been.
I love catching up with him, and he just took so much pride in being a pest.
Yeah.
Here we go. Look, we're going to say this, mate. We don't normally talk a lot of things on our show, but your test, here we go. I'm going to read this straight off the book. 2014, 191 runs. Obviously, you can look this up on Wikipedia. From your 4 matches, 23.9, strike rate 42, first class 114 matches, 6,707 runs. That's not bad, mate. That's 34.2 average, strike rate of 48.3, and there'll be I've got no doubt plenty more games for South Hobart, Sandy Bay as well there.
Yeah.
Add to that.
I wish you could have read those numbers out. They're a bit more impressive than that.
No, they're old, aren't they?
No,
that's better. Oh, that's
for Sandy Bay
sorry.
numbers.
Sandy Bay numbers.
We'll
sorry.
find them. We'll put them up for you.
Yeah, I played my last game down here against Western Australia. Was my 100th game for Tasmania, so that was 100th first class game for Tasmania. So I was very proud of that moment, and the boys did a really good job of making me feel very special for that week. So
good.
Very proud of that.
We've been banging on it, and everyone's banging on it, and it's been going on. It's overkill, and everyone's sick to death of it. But the coronavirus, how does this affect? And we're talking. Could put us out of a job. You know, there's going to be no sports.
No, you let it go like that, mate.
It's not really a job, but anyway.
Anymore.
Are you worried about it?
Am I worried about it? No.
Travelling?
No, I'm not. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. I would have thought that if it was as bad as what the public are making it out to be, there'd be a little bit more scare from the government rather than just
everything would be closed, wouldn't it?
Halting a bit of travel and telling you not to shake hands. I would have thought that if it was a real epidemic, then something different. You'd be told to be in your house and lock your doors and don't go near anyone. So
fill your fridge with beers.
So we're not. We
Coke's. Everyone's kicking up a fuss because Coke and Coke Zero and Diet Coke can't be. You know, we might be in trouble of losing those.
So
Is that the next toilet paper thing?
Yeah,
I know.
So,
Really?
So we're not going to expect you to walk out of Blunts, mate, with a mask on tomorrow.
Batsman
and that. So that's a bonus.
No, I don't. I think. I got it. May be wrong, but I just think you should live your life until someone tells you.
Until they say you. That's exactly right, mate.
So many.
We've been through all this before.
So many different sports that they're talking about canning and the Olympics and everything that's coming on. It's just it's mega.
As long as they don't can AFL football,
exactly.
I'll be happy. I need that in my winter.
Yeah.
So I had to turn my phone off. I was getting some. Just seeing how the boys were going up there in Lonnie.
What is the score?
Don't know. I had to turn it off. It kept coming through on.
Who's playing? Hawthorn and
Melbourne.
You're Hawks man,
I am, hopefully, only just a little bit.
You get along very well with Jeff Vaughan then?
Mate, I'm fair to say I'm one-eyed, but...
what have we done? You've opened a can of worms talking Hawthorn. Seriously, you won't get to go home now.
My sister goes for Hawthorn too, so if you want to talk footy, I'll give you her number, you can talk.
Corey actually said before, he said you should come on the show more often and sit there because he doesn't have to see Brendan Favola eating Troy Makepeace.
That was Mel.
Was that Mel, was it?
Yeah,
was he Mel as well?
Don't worry about that, mate. I haven't finished
Troy
it.
Makepeace.
Troy Makepeace, number 35, Brendan Favola and Lee Brown.
That's Lee Brown when we went to Collingwood.
20 minutes
we
in
lost.
the second quarter.
We
and
lost.
Hawthorn are down by a point. 20
It's only a practice game. Yeah, we lost a little bit of memory. I'll have to bring some Hawthorn gear over, mate.
Anyway, mate, look, we'll let you go. We've gone over the hour, if that's all right. And
thank you.
Mate,
thanks for having me.
We appreciate you so much coming in and giving you your time, mate. As I said, especially on a school night. Because, back to the game. What time we got to be there tomorrow?
We have to be on the field at 9:45, so I'll get there at about 9 o'clock. Family are going up to Launceston tomorrow, so wish them farewell in the morning, and I'll grab a coffee and I'll grab the paper with the crosswords in it, and bunker in for a good morning watching our boys bat.
And for viewers out there, just to let you know, guys, that this will be available on podcast as well, and luckily you'll be able to hear the dog next door barking. And Glennie and I will probably come on in another 15 to 20 minutes with just a bit of an update of other sports that are going on.
Cleve's tips on our horse racing.
So we're going to do a second.
Actually, they're mudlarks tomorrow, so...
Unless you want to hang around for another 20 minutes, mate. No, you got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
Fantastic to talk to you.
Anytime.
No, we appreciate it, and you're an absolute star. So we're lucky to have you, and Tassie, everyone, we're lucky to have you in the team.
Yeah, mate.
Not such a good day today, mate. But next innings,
no, get in one.
Go out, mate. It's
just left them out there for someone else
to
score.
What was the ball? Where got you?
I got given out court and bowled today, so if you want to go and look at the footage, you might understand my frustration.
Oh, hello. It wasn't.
I won't. Wow.
Oh, you can't
No,
say
we're
that.
not allowed to say it on there. Don't worry about
that's
it.
cut that out.
We don't want to.
I have a good relationship with the umpire.
Yeah.
We don't want to upset anyone in Tasmanian cricket or whatever either. Too, but no, I was like that, mate. Every time I went out, I deserved a free kick every time I went near the ball.
Yeah,
but I agree with you.
Thanks.
Totally.
Thanks so much, mate. We'll be back shortly, guys. Thanks for joining us, and thanks again, Alex. Great to have you on. Thanks very much. See you guys.
Guys, after my reviews, you're listening to the Friday Frothy. What a fantastic show.